Hello. Hello and welcome to D&Debrief. I believe this is episode 6 of D&Debrief.
Probably some nonsense.
I believe
Probably,
so.
maybe.
I believe so. I genuinely believe this episode is going to be entitled Brock in the Naughty Corner. Thanks, Freelance, for that idea. Hey gang, we have with us the wonderful Jace.
Hi.
We have the incredible Katie.
Hello.
And we have the excellent Chris.
Hi.
We don't have Kate with us right now. Kate had to nip off because she's doing like social things. What the hell?
Ew,
Or
gross.
Crispy. Crispy's not here.
Crispy's not here because Crispy is too busy doing something which I have to write for him that he is doing during this period when you are having a thing going on and lots of shenanigans happening in the cellars of in the Firefly Cellar. Wowza. I really enjoyed that episode.
Like when you said it was called the Firefly Cellar, I almost was like, oh, this will be okay because it can only run for one season. It's a solid joke.
It's
a solid nerdy joke.
Does that mean to be a follow-up movie as well?
Yeah, the next episode is a Serenity Spire.
Serenity Spire. No, it's not. It's not. I like this has been. You can tell why I wanted to do it in Halloween though, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
it was definitely a Halloween spoopy episode. I really love this. It took me ages to find that track. I just felt that that track was perfect. Cheers, Epidemic Sound, you lads. But yeah, how are you guys feeling after that episode?
What am I feeling?
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling abandoned. I'm feeling hurt. I've just had to take out one of my friends, and it's a new Dragonborn who hasn't even got a tail. So that's like 50% of my material gone anyway. Oh yeah, and then we were locked in, and I don't think that the locked in nature of it was great. And like as soon as those locks turned, she was like, all right, come on now, this is nonsense. So that's, I think that her haunches were raised from that point.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
I feel great. I stand by my choices. I think I made great choices.
I'm not going to knock any of your choices. I will never knock any decision that you make in Dungeons and Dragons is a decision that you have to deal with, and those are the choices that you make. Spoken like a true Dark Urge, those are the choices that you make.
Right. I thought your choices from your character's perspective were bang on the money. It doesn't make Talitha any less pissed off about them.
No, it's so fair. It's so fair. But no, I feel so good. I loved this story so far. It varies like in like gothic horror land. It has like Edgar Allan Poe vibes, and the way we ended in the cliffhanger like gave me like references to like some opera stuff, like Lucia di Lammermoor, where like there's a scene in an opera where like someone like stabs her husband and just like appears like bloody, and it's like there were just so many like things that it was like it feels like it's like drawing from references that like are what I love, which was so fun.
That's cool. That's cool that I didn't know any of that beforehand, and it's just like proper kismet.
Yeah.
I love that. And welcome in, Chris. Thank you for coming and being another member of my party, so I didn't have to do whole new overlays, and just adding a little bit more dimension with your Dragonborn Warlock.
Yep.
What made you choose Warlock for this?
Well, I rolled the dice, and it came up with a number that when you counted down from the player classes, excluding the ones that are already in the party, ended up a Morlock.
Amazing that, and you put so much thought into it for me.
Well, I couldn't decide, and I thought I'd leave it in the hands of fate.
I know we spoke quite a lot about different classes that you were going to do, because you
Yeah.
had rolled up a druid quite a while ago, when it was a possibility that when you were just going to be off stand-in anyway, and then for some reason you just didn't want to play the druid, which is kind of good, really.
I completely forgot they existed.
Okay. It's kind of good, really, though, because this section, like, Cthulhu is a druid, and I was like, we're gonna have like a weird druid off if that kind of thing happens. So I'm kind of glad that you did end up choosing something else, and it's quite nice to have someone else a little bit more magical in the party as well, because while a ranger does have the magical elements and a little bit of healing, it was quite nice to see maybe a couple of little arcane elements being knocked about too. And I mean Brock has properly lent into these runes, so maybe you are going to be a lot more magical than I initially thought when you first started playing.
Yeah, more than I thought too. I was like, I mean, we talked. I very much went in this being like, I have no idea what subclass I'm picking. I'm gonna figure it out when we get there, and I'm enjoying the giant stuff. Although it doesn't get like too crazy from what I've looked at. Like it's mostly just fire stuff.
Didn't that come out sort of as we were planning? Didn't the giant?
The rune carver was already there, but the feat that I took, like some of the feats I'm going to be taking, did come out while we were.
Yeah.
Like it came out like a couple of weeks after we started.
Interesting. That's really cool, though. It's kind of like Kismet to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Wild.
The timing worked out so well.
Wild. That's really, really cool. That's really cool. And I'm surprised that the wings didn't come out this session.
Well, I considered it quite a bit, and while we were fighting, but like, I think it was because we were in close proximity. I felt like I needed to make the attack as the action rather than bamf the wings out as the action.
Okay.
And I didn't use the bardic inspiration. I did use excuse me. I did think I was trying to save the bardic inspiration just in case I needed to use cutting words. And then when Karina rolled to hit me, she rolled a 19. I was like, I'm going to have to knock that down by 7. I can't do it. So there's no point. I'm going to have to roll 8. I think it's a D6. So I was like, right, well, so I've still got all the bardic stuff there. But now I'm like, particularly now while we were doing that fight, because I decided I needed to save some of my spells now, because I've got two allies who are down. We need to bring those back up, and I haven't really got the spells to bring them back up. Yeah, we can have a short rest, which is fine, but I haven't got a lot of spells, so I'm a bit. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what to do with the bet. So I was in, and particularly, and I'll be honest, once Brock disappeared, and I get why Brock did it, and I totally appreciate it as a character. But Talitha's reaction to that was panic.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I think if in that situation she's not going to stop fighting to bamf her wings out.
Cool.
And that was the choice that I made.
Cool.
Trying to do role playing shit, Claire.
Yeah,
no,
I'm really proud of all of you. I'm really proud of all of you. I thought I loved every second of it. I've been so prepared. I've been so ready for this because we've had like 6 weeks off, something like that. We've been
6 weeks.
So much. Yeah,
we've had so much time off, and I'm just like, I've been vaguely ready for this episode for a good few months. I've known how I wanted the structure to go. I've known what voices I wanted each of the characters to have to that extent. So I've been chomping at the bit to do this. So one thing that I hadn't found was the music that I wanted for the Shemsheim rhyme, and then I found it. and it was so good. I found it and I've been singing it for ever. Like wherever I found it.
I do think the fact that Shemshime is so close to Sunshine is really annoying, because you think, oh, Shemshime, it's going to be a nice thing. I don't think it is. I'm putting it out there. It feels nasty.
I feel like that is astute of you.
Yeah. I'm well good at D&D.
What are your how do Brock and Talitha feel about the new Dragonborn that's appeared? Do you have any particular feelings? Or
I think I thought that when the way that he was brought into the story was brilliant. The fact that he was already there, and I think he's a great character, and like you said earlier, it's great to have something with another flavour of magic, because we aren't a particularly magical party. So it's nice to have something different come in.
Yeah, for sure. And I think from the character perspective, the way I'm thinking about Brock is just inherently not suspicious of our
children.
new
It's
party
mostly
member.
children, isn't it? That you're
Well, and like Brock is suspicious of the assumption that Brock has is anyone who is in these libraries, like doing research, is most likely horribly incompetent.
Wow.
So it's like the Brock is like, okay, well, like we'll see, and like, but the combat we had where it was just like, oh, you did big swing, you did big hit, okay, we'll listen to this person a little.
As soon as he hit that lock that you missed twice,
Yeah,
that was
like, like it's like a begrudging, like, fine, okay, I guess you're pulling your weight.
Do you think it's a thing for Brock wherein you think, oh well, if you have to read it from a book, then Jesus, like books give you no help whatsoever. Do you think it's that underlying theme for your character, like books are shit?
kind of
wizards.
Yeah, and just, I mean, like, I'm so excited that I finally got the chance to like shake a scholar and yell at them today. That's what this has all been building to for him.
It's all been building to a scholarly confrontation. Chris, what did Dexon think of these new people that have come into his life? Because Dexon will probably hang around, really. But not as part of the party, but I mean, he might show up again if somebody else has to be absent.
Yeah, I think that he was just happy to see more people going in, because he's been there a little bit, just with those people there, and trying to research. So he was probably just excited to see new people, really.
Am I able to ask a question? Sorry to cut across. What is Dexon researching? Or is that something? Is that going to be like a big reveal?
No, I don't know necessarily that it's a big reveal. I mean, if you want to talk about it now, you can do, or it can be something that you bring up in the next episode if you want.
Fae related.
Okay.
Which is
looking for his tail.
No.
Katie, you've got to chill.
I have got to stop.
Because D&D Dragonborn don't have tails.
Not all. Some of them might.
Some of them do.
They
do.
The
ones that Matt Mercer brought in do, and the ones for Baldur's Gate 3 do, but original PHB Dragonborn don't have tails.
Yeah, but there's so much more than the PHB now, Chris. You've got to remember.
No.
No, you're a purist in the end.
Although this one is based, I've used the Fitzban's Treasury of Dragons, so it actually means I can breathe fire more often, which is nice, because it goes off proficiency bonus rather than it being like once. So that's pretty nice. And I can also use it if I ever get multi-attack, which I don't think I do. One of my attacks can be my fire breath.
Cool. So just out of interest, which part of the player's handbook is the Hexblade Warlock in?
It's not.
Salazar's go to everything. Yeah. So not so much a purist.
No, but then I just said a minute ago
Yeah, use
I
Fizzbangs
use
as well.
Fizzbangs Treasury of
Oh, okay.
Dragons for
Okay,
the Dragon
Fizzbangs is
Ball.
weird though. Like Fizzbangs is
Fizzbangs
out there. Is that
it's-
the one with the amethyst dragon? They're like
it's
the
got
jewel.
Yeah.
all the gem dragonborn in
Yeah.
it as well. It's very cool. I think if I was ever I'm not a big fan of playing Dragonborn, but I think if I was ever to play a Dragonborn, contrary, like, and this will shock everyone to know that I would make it purple
Mhm.
because there's not a
Well-
pink option, so I'll have to go for purple. So yeah, what do you? Here's a question: 2 weeks time, or next week if you're nasty and watching this on YouTube. Next week we're gonna be we're gonna resolve this this Shemshine shenanigan.
The Shemshine Shenanigans.
That's a much better title than what
That's
the
a
actual title of
brilliant
the episode
title.
is.
It's Shemshine Shenanigans : Brock's in the naughty corner.
So we will resolve this. How are you? What are your predictions, if you have any at all? Do you have any predictions as to how this will resolve? With you trapped in here forever, and that's it.
We're
Probably
gonna have
lots
to
of
kill the kid.
screaming.
Sorry, we'll go with Chris first.
Probably lots of screaming.
Lots of screaming, possibly.
I envisage a short rest in our future.
Well, currently Brock is looking at a child covered in blood, holding a
You'll be
book
alright.
with a.
She can nap it off. So,
I-
so, do we think the child has killed the Kenku? Is that where the blood has come from? Either way,
mean,
I think that Chris gonna have to die, or we're gonna have to take her to a cleric.
I assume the kid is like possessed or something. That's where my brain is going.
Somebody in chat at some point, I don't know who it was in chat, and I'm sorry, it might have been Spherelance, but it could have been Cap and D as well. Said, have you got any holy water? And I was like, no. None of us are clerics. We are a party. It was Spherelance. We were a party sans cleric, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we haven't even got a holy, let alone holy water.
No.
You know? All of
No.
us are arcane and nasty. Like
There's probably a cleric at
Candlekeep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we survive long enough to find out whatever arcane sort of lock or mechanism or sequence that the woman had put on the door to keep us locked in, if she survives long enough to be able to tell us, because none of us got pissing speak with dead, have we? Because none of us are clerics.
No.
You know what? If you did have speak with dead, you could have spoken to that skull.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, it could, because I play a cleric so much, I was like, speak with dead. Fuck.
Such a pain in the ass to
Yeah,
like not have.
there's so much, and I think because like of the amount of or like as we always do, we end up talking a little bit about Baldur's Gate 3, and a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, you don't. I think you can go the entirety of Baldur's Gate 3 without doing Speak with Dead once. However, it's so good.
Yeah.
That like
Mhm.
doing the Speak with Dead part of it just gives that extra flavor to the story some of the
Yeah.
time, and I think you get used to doing it because like usually you've got a necklace that allows you to do it or some shit somewhere along the lines that I just think like Speak with Dead is such an integral part. And then when you were like, oh, there's 2 skeletons down there, and my first thought was, well, I can only do Speak with Dead once, so which one am I going to do it on? And then I was like, Kate, you're a bard.
I can't do it at all.
I got nothing. But the biggest thing that I felt this week that I and I might have felt it before, but I can't remember. I've got no level 1 spells that are aggressive. I've got nothing.
Really?
Yeah. No, and that needs to change on the next level up. I need to put like a level, something that is going to be aggressive as a level 1 spell. I've got, because I've got 2 aggressive spells, and those are Vicious Mockery, which is a cantrip, and Shatter at level 2.
Oh shit!
I've got nothing
Okay.
else. I've got nothing in between. And because I built her as such a supportive character, knowing what we were going into and knowing what her backstory was, I built her as such a support that I didn't need to throw like these aggressive spells in. And now the longer we progress, I need to flesh out those level 1 spells. So I've got something that I can use to attack.
Just in case two of your
But-
party members just turn on you, and then
Then
the other,
I've got
and then
Sylvie
the other
Bob.
party, and then the other party member just fucks off, right?
Yeah.
That would never
That's-
happen. That
that would never
happen.
happen. No.
Wow. You couldn't predict it, could you?
No, you couldn't. You really couldn't. Probably should have, but really couldn't.
Well, I mean, what a great session. What a wonderful way to come back. I'm very happy with how that went. I'm very happy that when it needed to, I'm proud of all of you for doing it. Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Chris.
You're gonna be here on the next one because I've got no way of getting that door is locked. You have no way of getting I've got no way of getting Awen in here. So Awen gets another week off, and we're gonna have we will have Dexin. Gosh, I'll get there eventually with all of your character names. We've only been doing this for a little while now. But we'll have Crispy back. It's probably going to be after Christmas now, if we think about it literally.
Yeah.
How many weeks left there are until Christmas. But gang, it's been wonderful. It's wonderful to be back. I love Dungeons and Dragons so much.
I really enjoyed that. Thanks, Claire.
Absolutely. This has been D&Debrief episode 6, which is Shemshime Shenanigans, or the other one that I said at the beginning of Rock in the Naughty Corner. both are fully adequate. Folks, thank you for joining us. We love you very, very much, and we'll be back in 2 weeks if you're listening to this live, or next week if you're listening on YouTube. I love you very much. I love you guys very, very much. Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.